everyone, welcome to They Said We Said. OrzhovDunn back with another deck tech. This week we're going back to standard. We are doing All In Madness. So this is another, I would say, more on the budget build, besides a few cards, but they're easily replaceable. We'll get into that shortly. So as we do each and every time we do one of these things, let's start with the mana base. So we're going to start with 4 Smoldering Marsh. That is the battle lands from Battle to Zendikar. So in this format, I would have to say that ally color decks do not have as easy as a time fixing their colors as the enemy color lands, because of the fast lands from Kaladesh. They are just kind of more optimal than the battle lands and the shadow lands. So then we have our playset of 4 Boding Ruins, so at least those work kind of well together. Just a one of Cinder Barons. We just don't want, this is a very fast, aggressive deck. We want our mana coming in untapped. So then we're going to round that off with an unlucky number of swamps, 13 swamps. 1 single mountain. And 1 Gaia Reach Sanctum. And this is, like I said, an all-in kind of madness deck, so this is an essential land. You could even make a case to go up to 2, but I like just running the one of, because how color hungry this deck could be. There's a lot of double black, there's some double red, so we want to make sure that we're hitting our colors on time. So we're going to start with the creatures in ascending converted mana cost order. We have a playset of the Indulgent Aristocrat. So this guy's really good. You know, he's a 1/1 for 1 with lifelink. He races pretty well. Also, you could sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control for 2 mana. It's actually pretty good, especially if you're going to lose a creature anyways, or you're going to trade him off anyways, because he counts as sacrificing creature as well. The key thing is each of your vampires you control. So obviously it's a madness deck, so we have a vampire theme going. So he is a lot more powerful than I think people give him credit for. So next we have a playset of Fulcrum-Wrath Aristocrat. These creatures obviously in a madness deck are great. They're a free one-time madness outlet. You could discard a card. She flips over. She's 2 for a 2/1. And then when you activate her on her other side, she's a 3/2 flyer. So just early beats. She trades with the Copter very well. She's a fantastic creature. So that's 4 of those. Next we have the Stormkirk Condemned. That's 2 black for a 2/2. Discard a card. Vampires you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. Activate this ability only once. Again, a repeatable free madness engine. So this guy is very important. And he's a bear. Right on the curve. And our last 2 drops, we have a 3 of Asylum Visitor. Honestly, probably our weakest creature in the deck. It's 2 for a 3/1, so it's got aggressive stats, and it has, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in hand, you draw a card and you lose a life. So it has a pseudo, poor man's Dark Confidant thing going on. You get there sometimes, you're vomiting your hand out pretty quickly in this deck, but you'd be surprised you don't really get to use this as much, just because she is such a small butt and she dies pretty easy, or just something always happens when you don't really get those triggers a lot. But she is important because she is also a 2 madness creature, so it flows well. Okay, we're running a 2 of Olivia Mobilized for War. She's pretty incredible. She's 1 black, 1 red for a 3/3 flyer, so already that's pretty fantastic stats. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may discard a card. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on it. That creature gains haste until end of turn, and it becomes a vampire in addition to other types. So this, again, is a free madness engine if you have enough land to be able to cast the creature and cast something else, which is, to be honest, kind of tough sometimes. But she is a free madness engine, and she gives that creature haste and bigger. So if you get her rolling and she doesn't die right away, as she tends to do, she actually can take over a game as well. So 2 of Olivia. And there's a case to be made to run Drana, Liberator of Malakir in here, but I believe in this build it's more focused on madness and not so much as an all-in creature, turn them sideways. Next we have the Bloodhall Priest, and right now these are actually pretty well positioned in the meta. They take care of a lot of things. If your hand is empty, she breeds 2 for 1 black, 1 red for a 4/4, so pretty good stats there. Whenever Bloodhall Priest enters the battlefield or attacks, if you have no cards in hand, Bloodhall Priest deals 2 damage to target creature or player. And she also has the madness of 1 and 1 black and 1 red. So you dump her on turn 3, she comes down. If you have no cards in hand, she shocks something. Every time she attacks, as a 4/4, she shocks something right away. So she's pretty fantastic. We don't want to see too many of these, so we're running a 2 of. Next, this is really the only expensive card in the deck, and it's just a 2 of Kalitas. It's just so on theme with the vampires and so relevant with the sacrificing with zombies and vampires. He gets bigger. This card is just I don't have to talk anyone into including Kalitas trade or get into their deck. It's just raw power. It's an engine unto itself. It's just a great win condition. It's backup. If everything falls to the wayside, you could always slam a Kalitas and really take over the game. So we're running a 2 of Kalitas. But you could very well take out the 2 Kalitas and substitute him for, the Dranas or more removal or, whatever you want to do, whatever works more in your meta. But if you have the Kalitas or you have the funds, Kalitas is always, the best option. Next, here's the only non-vampire creature in the deck. This is the Haunted Dead. The synergy in this deck is extremely potent, especially for an aggro deck. It has so much things going on for it as far as engines and how each card works with each other. That's why the Haunted Dead gets the nod here. You have 4 for a 2/2. I'm running a 3 of Haunted Dead. 4 for a 2/2. When Haunted Dead enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. And then when it's sitting in your hand, you could tap 1 and 1 black to discard 2 cards, return Haunted Dead from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. So it's just a nice recursive creature. It also is a madness outlet. You pull her late and you discard her, you could really do some fun stuff, because if you have enough land to discard 2 madness cards and cast them both and then still get the creatures when they come back, it's really amazing what this card could do. So then we have the Voldaren Pariah, and it's 5 for a 3/3 flyer. Sacrifice 3 other creatures, transform Voldaren Pariah with a madness of 3. We tend not to cast this ever for the 5. You could always usually get to madness this card, and this card again just kind of takes over games. There's a lot of great haymakers in this. She transforms over to the Abolisher of Bloodlines, 6/5 flyer. When this creature transforms into Abolisher of Bloodlines, target opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. So she's a mini Wrath. She gets creatures like Haunted Dead back in your graveyard so you could recur it and trigger more madness. It really is, this card really can take over games. It has that blowout capability. If you sack all the creatures and they get rid of her in response to, it goes on the stack, that sucks, but it's the risk. It's such a high powered card, you're willing to take that risk. Get to our non-creature spells, and we're going to start with our removal. Well, most of it's removal. So we're going to do Grasp of Darkness, 2 of those, just anti-copters, basically. Fiery Temper, we're always casting this for our madness cost. We're only running 1 mountain in the deck. There is, we are running our duels, like I showed, but it's kind of difficult to get to the 2 red, I'm not going to lie. But just having so much black is very important, especially when we're having 2 and 3 black mana costs for certain cards. So we're always madnessing this Fiery Temper. Again, this is for Copter or any other small aggressive creature. It's a madness deck. You got to run the playset of Fiery Temper. 1 of Ruinous Path. Basically, we just want a 1 main deck answer to Planeswalkers. We just want Gideon, Liliana, anything like that. We want to have main deck answers, and just 1 sufficient. We have so much other removal, and with all the flying that we have with our creatures, we could usually swing in and knock those Planeswalkers out pretty quickly, clean up, a Racer card. So 1 of Ruinous Path. And then the last cards in the main deck is 2 of Key to the City. These things are absolutely incredible. They're 2 for an artifact. Discard a card by tapping it. Up to 1 target creature can't be blocked this turn. Whenever Key to the City becomes untapped, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. So it's a card drawing engine. It's a madness engine. It allows one of our beaters to get through. A giant Kalitas on board, and you're being stonewalled by a bunch of small creatures or tokens or whatever. All you have to do is just discard a card, enable madness, and swing in for the win. So Key to the City is extremely essential. There's also an argument to be made that you could be running 3 of these things, but I believe the 2 of in the main, play around with it, see what you think, but I believe 2 in the main is kind of the way to go. So that's it. This is, like I said, kind of very, very cheap deck. It's a very, very inexpensive deck to make. I believe it's around $25, $30, except for the Kalitases, and you could very well take those out. You could throw in maybe 2 lightning axes instead, just to get some more removal, more Grasp of Darkness, whatever your meta dictates. You could throw in 2 Drana instead, and that would be perfectly fine. You could even go up, 1 Olivia, 1 Bloodhall Priest. There's a lot of mix and matching, to this deck. It's not just a straight list and that's it. You could really kind of tune it and make it your own, but this seems to be the list that works for me. So that's it for this week, guys. That's our standard deck tech. Please let me know in the comments if you like this, what changes you'd make, and we'll see you next time. Just want to let you know that I've been working on my top 10 YouTube MTG personalities that have helped or influenced me in making this channel what it is. So stay tuned for that video coming soon. Also, again, I want to tell you about my friends at the Card Bazaar. Please go over and check out their latest video about the MTG set Fallen Empires. And speaking of Fallen Empires, I want to formally invite you to join my newest friend Tantus Nerevan Dracoven, Emperor of the Dracoven Empire. Please check out my favorite video from his channel, Legends, Lands, and Planeswalkers, where he tells you all about Nicobolus, the most ancient evil in the multiverse.